In recent weeks, the country has broken unimaginable records in the fight against COVID-19, the pandemic which has gripped the world over. Frontline workers such as these at this public hospital in the province of Limpopo getting a front row seat to the devastation the virus continues to leave in its wake. An average infection rate of over 15,000 daily, more than 30,000 dead. It is expected to get worse before it gets any better. With the public health system under strain, it is left to private medical practitioners to sweep in and accommodate the overflow. But they too are beginning to feel the heat. More and more people are turning up to them instead of going to public hospitals as they try to avoid congestion and waiting in long queues. But as you can see, even here, the waiting rooms are full of patients, both COVID and non-COVID infected, some here for their monthly treatments. The doctors and their staff do what they can. Not too far from this medical center is the Bright Bridge border post between South Africa and Zimbabwe. A couple of days ago, it was reported that more than 100 Zimbabwean nationals had tested positive for COVID-19 as they tried to make their way into South Africa. Our cameras captured a people going about their business, no social distancing observed or mask wearing. They are not too scared of catching the virus around these parts, you see. Most believe in the healing powers of traditional and home remedies to fight off the disease. Home cures and remedies they find in their backyards at home.
The government should not have to separate us as a doctors. We are the best doctors, the indigenous doctors, which who knows any disease. And we should not have to be put aside like people who doesn't know nothing.
Yeah, that for me, I won't lie and say I was infected with COVID. But through the herb, I took it as a method to prevent COVID.
I steam and I feel much better. Slight headache, cough, whatever. Any physical uneasiness, I use that. And believe you me, the change is tremendous.
An effective fight against not only COVID-19, they say, but most, if not all, respiratory illnesses. Those using this method of steaming with traditional herbs say they fully understand that this is not a cure for the killer pandemic, but it is what works for them. The old age tradition of herbal steaming has been used for hundreds of years by African people. And if it worked for them, what do we have to lose, they tell us, as they follow tradition passed down to them generations ago. We leave the province of Limpopo and head to Gauteng. We caught wind of a new home remedy which hundreds, if not thousands of Africans swear by. In fact, the very track playing in the background is singing the praises of this home remedy. Before we start our interview, Linda Mushonga is here to pick up 20 vials of the Galela remedy. At 900 Rand a bottle, every drop is worth every cent she has paid, she says.
We have not contracted COVID at all in our family. Thank goodness. I believe it's because of this. I use it for everything. I use it for my children. I use it for myself. I use it for our skin, our allergies. I use it for everything. But most importantly, I started taking it because obviously with COVID crisis at hand, it's been a lifesaver.
The man behind Ikalela is Tami Mjali. Mr. Mjali holds various qualifications in chemical engineering, most of which he received in the United States. And his references, well, they speak for themselves.
I've worked on NASA, I've worked on Department of Energy in the USA, I've worked on Goodyear, I even worked on George Bush's seniors tires to make sure that those tires were, they automatically inflate if they were short. That was after Ronald Reagan was shot during that time.
As we were just about to begin this interview, we saw one of your clients, a repeat client. Your phone has been ringing off the hook. Obviously, you're doing something right, and people would not be coming back if they were not impressed or it did not work for them.
Yes. Yes, the product was not designed for corona. The product was designed for ulcers. Corona found the product. The product did not find corona. The corona found the product. So it was a perfect fit for corona. And I can safely say that corona is probably one of the easiest ailments I've worked on.
There's a vaccine now. We still don't know whether it works. We don't know whether people who have just been recently vaccinated will not get it again, whether they'll live through it. You saying COVID-19 or corona is one of the easiest you have treated. How so? How are you getting it right, and how are they not getting to where you are?
Remember me, I started January when this thing started. And we had a huge Jewish population that came from New York around February last year when they were running away. And I just saw huge orders coming from the Linksfield area, from the Jewish community. I was like, oh, these orders, this is definitely must be corona. But they were not giving me feedback. But I knew they were repeat sales. You know, when you get repeat sales, then something is going on very right. So they were not telling me until we started with hectic corona cases in our neighborhoods. And again, even there, because we normally say, just try it and see, because this is an immune booster, and it allows your body soldiers to jack up and be fueled and blacksem everybody that comes across, foreigner, internally, or everything. So we just said, because of that reason, you can try it on corona, but the success rate on corona has been amazing.
Putting to rest the myth that only the less educated and those living in far-flung rural villages believe in the power of home and traditional remedies. Lock and Key is Mr. Mjali's lab. It's just upstairs from where we did our interview from. We're not allowed inside, but if I take a quick peek, yep, it looks like the man has been busy. Plenty of the oils that he's been giving out to some of the customers that came through, and he says he's got a little something for us as well.
These are the final products.
So from the two jugs we saw downstairs, at the end of the day, this is what comes out. Sir, thank you very much, and hopefully this will come in good use in this time of the year. Lock and Key. So we've just finished the shoot with Mjali. The question is, I think the conversation we've always had is, does one prefer the use of traditional medicines, home remedies, or one would say stick to what the scientists are telling us? Go to the doctor, get your hard drugs, as it were, or if what Mjali is selling works, take that. Well, we're just about to find out as we drive through to the Nasrec center that is expected to fielding rather about 1,000 COVID patients. Remember last year when the pandemic hit South Africa, over 1,600 centers field hospitals are open. Nasrec was one of the big ones in Gauteng, and as the storm hits of the second wave, it's expected to get full with COVID patients. We'll try and find out what the doctors think about the use of alternative remedies instead of having patients fill up those beds. Well, unfortunately, our trip to Nasrec had to be stopped because, unforeseen reasons, but that interview has been moved. In the meantime, Thabo and I thought we could visit a shoot that we did last year at the height of the pandemic. Now, this household, we came here, the owner of the home was complaining that that tree was being invaded by the neighbors. In fact, when we got here, it had been covered to stave off anyone trying to steal Lingana or Mhlonyana. Let's park and head inside. We met Johannes Matsise at the height of the country's first spell of COVID-19 last year. We thought you should pay him a visit and see how he had fared through these trying times. But before we had a chat, he asked us to watch the story we did with him more than 7 months ago. He had not seen it yet.
Bruises, lumbago, etc. Not everybody believes in this route. It's only now since they've seen on television and heard on radio that this thing can cure it. It's ignorance and they're not believing. I inherited it from my father.
The last time we were here,
Yes.
discussing the healing properties of local and home remedies such as
Yes.
and Lingana.
Yes.
Then we thought, let's pop in and speak to you today.
Yes.
And see how COVID-19 has... You've staved the infection off of COVID-19.
Yes.
And are you healthy? How has it been?
Oh, it's been very busy. It's been very busy. I once got infected. A guy came in here to come and fix my son's brake pads. I could see this man was sick. I asked him, are you sick? He said, no. I asked him again the second time, hey man, are you sick? He said, no. When he finished fixing the car, he asked me for a cup of tea. The man was sweating and it was in the winter. So I made him a cup of tea and I gave him tea with this cup. The next day, I was feeling just exactly the same as he was feeling.
Wow.
So I took this and I got right. Yes.
You didn't need to go to the hospital?
No. I don't remember when last did I go to the hospital.
So your home remedies
Yes.
and your
Yes.
and chickweed,
Yeah.
they worked for you?
They worked very much. 58 deaths when the lockdown started. Right now it's thousands.
Because I see here, this is September 19.
Yeah.
It's 2019 COVID.
Yes, September,
19.
October,
Your records.
November, every day. Every day.
November 2020.
Yeah.
You got your deaths, you got your infections.
Yes.
And if you look at this, November 2020,
Yeah.
you had 19,000 deaths.
Yeah.
19,411.
November.
And as I go through your book, as of yesterday, you've got the latest stats. As of
Yes.
yesterday,
Yes.
you even have the recorded infections,
Yes.
21,226.
Yeah.
And the deaths, 32,000.
32,000 now.
Does this worry you?
Of course. Of course it worries me.
Let's not keep you. Thank you very much. Continue with your home brew.
Okay.
Last time you gave us a taste, but
Yeah.
let's not keep you too long this time.
Okay, no, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks very much.
I think the question is, as you've seen for the past 2 days, we've been visiting people who are saying home remedies work for them. They've staved off the likes of COVID-19 and the average winter flu like Mkhulu says he has. He says he was sick at one point, but due to what he's been using for over the years, he's looking forward to seeing his 78th birthday, is that correct?
77.
77th birthday in a couple of months' time. As we leave Ntate Matsise's home, one cannot wonder and say exactly what he meant about people just walking the streets without a care in the world, not wearing masks as you saw those youngsters right there. Then it begs the question, with the new variant that has been picked up in South Africa with all the scientists and the health organization, and mostly it's the youngsters that are said to be more prone to it. I mean, once again on my left hand side, kids roaming the streets without masks. One begs the question, with the new school year starting, these kids are mostly, well, expected, hopefully not, to be carriers of COVID-19, and what will happen to them? Once again on the left, people sitting, and that's the stall, no masks in sight. As we made our way out of Mhlakeng on the West Rand in our SABC News branded vehicle, a voice through an open window screamed out at us to stop and grant them an interview. So, in true SABC News style, we obliged. We're from SABC News.
Yeah?
We're from SABC News.
From SABC News?
Yes.
So,
we're doing a story on COVID-19 and why are people not wearing masks? Okay, no, we're just doing a story about being in public and not wearing masks. As government's advert goes, don't be a mampara. Okay. Wear your mask when in public, sanitize, and be safe. I'm Thabiso, Sithole, and video journalist Thabo Madilola for SABC News in Johannesburg.